Welcome to GODSpeed, where truth meets life in under 10 minutes. I'm AK, and this is hope for your journey.
Have you ever asked for something while not really believing it could happen? A financial situation you've asked for help with but have stopped expecting it. A relationship you hope heals but you've already written it off. A sickness that's been with you for so long that you're already planning around it staying forever. I get it. Hope feels dangerous when you've been disappointed before. But can I offer you an alternative? Even if it feels a little bit risky. Today, we meet a desperate father who's already tried everything to help his son for years with no success. His son has had these seizures since childhood, and the father is watched helpless as nothing helped. But he hears about Jesus and his disciples passing through town, and he thinks about it as another attempt, maybe the last one. So he brings his son to Jesus' students, but they can't heal him. Then Jesus himself arrives. And as this conversation begins, the disappointed father speaks honestly. This comes from Mark chapter 9, verses 21 through 24. How long has this been happening? Jesus asked the boy's father. He replied, since he was a little boy. The Spirit often throws him into the fire or into water trying to kill him. Have mercy on us and help us, if you can. What do you mean, if I can? Jesus asked. Anything is possible if a person believes. The father instantly cried out, I do believe, but help me overcome my unbelief. Faith isn't pretending we don't have any doubt or uncertainty in hard situations. It's wrestling with our unbelief and still choosing to hope. Let's look at this father's story and conversation with Jesus and take 3 things away from it. The first is, are you asking in doubt or not asking at all? Faith by definition is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It's believing in what we can't yet see. But many of us will stop seeking the reality that is possible because we've stopped believing the answer will come. I want you to take a second and think of that obstacle that's in your way right now, whether it's relational, financial, material. Are you genuinely believing there's a breakthrough available? Or are you going through the motions while your heart has already given up? Are you praying while simultaneously planning for nothing to change? There's wisdom that teaches us that a person who is double-minded is unstable in all their ways. Meaning if your hopes and heart are inconsistent with your words, your foundation will be weak and your follow-through will be too. It's difficult to expect healing while already accepting sickness as permanent. You can't expect change while preparing for everything to stay the same. That's living in the middle, caught between doubt and faith, but getting the benefits of neither. The father in the story is honest. I do believe, but help me overcome my unbelief. He's not pretending. He's not faking confidence he doesn't have. He's saying, I want to believe fully, but I need help. And Jesus meets him there. That's the same invitation we're all extended. We don't have to have perfect faith to be eligible, but a little faith will move mountains. Next, your faith has ripple effects. What I find remarkable about this story is that If you go a little further down, the boy is healed, not because of his own belief or his own actions, but because of his father's. The father's faith, small and even mixed with some doubt, was enough. His willingness to ask one more time and bring his son to Jesus even after the disciples had failed made the difference. We all underestimate the power of what we can do. We ask, what value are thoughts and prayers? What does one more attempt matter after the list of failures has gotten so long? I tell you, my friend, it could be the difference between eternal joy and a pain that's overstayed its welcome. The distance between almost healed and an amazing transformation. In my own life, I think back to 8 years ago. I was living in a small town a few years into my first job after college, and I wanted a bigger challenge, a bigger opportunity. And when I tell you I received so many rejection notes, I began to believe this is where my road ended, that my value has been, it's capped out. I nearly stopped applying because I said, what's the point? And one day, a note came to me directly saying someone else had mentioned me as a great fit for a role that they were opening up in Atlanta. Bigger title, bigger city, bigger salary, hope. I was the one in need of help and hope, but it was someone else's words that sparked the change. Someone else's faith in me created a ripple that changed everything. So I want you to know your faith just doesn't affect you. It impacts the people around you. Your willingness to try one more time matters, not just for you, but for the people who need you to believe when they can. And finally, I need you to speak to the doubter in you. Much like this man needed help with his unbelief, so do we. I was recently talking to my brother, and we realized how often we say no to our prayers, hopes, and desires before the world gets a chance to. We shortchange our miracles because we're too afraid to believe. But what is a life lived in the middle? Stuck between doubt and faith, never fully committing to hope because you're protecting yourself from disappointment. You don't get the peace of letting go, and you don't get the breakthrough of believing. See, Jesus doesn't dismiss the father for his doubt. He doesn't say, come back when you have more faith. He heals the boy because the father was honest, because he asked for help, because he showed up even when he wasn't sure it would work. And the truth is, faith that says I'm struggling to believe, but I'm here anyway. Faith that asks one more time even after 100 failures. Faith that risks hoping again even when hope has hurt before is enough faith. My friend, don't live in the middle. Don't settle for a life where you've stopped asking, stopped hoping, and stopped believing change is possible. Speak to the doubter in you and say, I do believe, and I will overcome my unbelief. God, I don't see a way through, and I don't know how you'll do it, but I believe all things are possible. Teach me to trust you more. Amen.
I will always love you how I do. Let go of a prayer for you, just a sweet word